Welcome to Details Matter. We are back with yet another live stream. This one is planned for, I'm going to talk about correction here because correction is a huge piece in our lives. And, all these pieces that I'm talking about actually have a part in my life. I like to hop on here and start live streaming something that's actually difficult for me to recognize, or a pain in my life, something that's difficult, something I'm really good at, instead of something I don't have much, something I'm not very good at, or something I don't know much of. I like to actually inform you guys on something I've actually experienced before. So here we go. We're going to talk about correction a little bit. And first things first, I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for hopping on here and watching the live stream. But let's get into it. So, correction. Now, what is correction? Correction for me is, I couldn't be anything between somebody trying to improve what you're doing, or somebody trying to, it can be either improvement, or it can be somebody trying to, be over you, try to have lordship over you, kind of, in a way. So correction, I would say the first thing that I would say about correction is I don't like correction. Nobody ultimately loves correction, right? So there's a learning correction, and there's a type of correction that makes you feel like you're a terrible person, okay? All right, I'm going to give an example here. Now, if I'm at work, okay, I've been at my job for a year now. If my boss all of a sudden started coming to me and then saying, hey, right now, everything you're doing wrong. All that I've trained you, you're doing everything wrong. Let's start over again. That's going to upset me so much. So, I'm going to have to start to think, okay, where am I at here? Now, here's the thing. Somebody can come into the restaurant. Now, here's the correction that's kind of, they're trying to be over you like this. If someone came into the restaurant and came up to me, and I'd been working there for 1 year, and they came to me and said, hey, by the way, you're doing everything wrong. You cannot do any of this. Someone I never knew, right? He said, you're doing all this wrong. Do this better. Here's how to do it. I would never do it like this. You're doing it all wrong. Okay, do you think I'm likely to be like, oh, sure, you're right. Let me see, let me kind of change this. Okay, show me how to change it. No, I'm going to be like, okay, let me go talk to my boss. If my boss wants me to change this, we can change it from there. But I don't think my boss is going to want me to change this. It's the same thing with correction. Oftentimes people want to come to you and kind of have higher authority over you. They want to come to you and correct you and say, hey, by the way, you're doing this wrong. I want to show you how to do something better, because they want to get recognized in the end. It's not about trying to be, try to actually teach you something. Now, some people, their goal is to teach you something. Some people, for correction, they're trying to correct you in a way and say, hey, I'm trying to correct you because I want you to learn something from this. I want you to actually take this home and really think about it. Hey, my life is kind of messed up. And somebody tries to tell me, hey, here's what you can do better about that. Your life's messed up and I really care about you. Here's what you can do. I'm here for you. Let me help you. And there's the kind of people that are like, hey, I want to correct you because I want to be over you. I want to be up here. You're down here. I want to be up here for you. I want to be this type of person. Now, a lot of people do that, whether you think of it or not. People, if I'm going to a gym and I'm working out, people will come to a gym and come over to me and say, hey, by the way, you're doing the wrong physique. Now, some people, it's because they want me to actually get proper muscle. They want me to get muscle faster. They want me to learn properly. Now, for others, they want to feel like, oh, I've been going to the gym so long. I know everything about the gym. I'm over this kid. This kid's still tiny. He doesn't know anything about the gym. He's new, and this one, right? Oftentimes, we have two types of people. Now, which one would you rather be? Would you rather be the type of person to be, want to help somebody in their correction process, or somebody try to lord over that person, be the highest and just kind of look down on that person? Oh, you did that wrong, Oftentimes for me, I think it's, just really, really important to think about that, because in my job, if you see your boss, when you first start your job, day one, you're at your job, and your boss starts telling you what to do, your boss starts correcting you, that's the good kind of correction. That's the correction you want. You want to learn from that correction. You do something wrong, he says, hey, you did this wrong, learn from that immediately. For you, as the viewer, here's what I'm saying. If you go and someone corrects you, You're just gonna have to judge between these two type of people. Because there is type of people that want to break you down, and there's people that want to build you up. Now, the people that want to build you up are far fewer than the people that want to break you down. Okay? And so you're just gonna have to judge between these people. Because oftentimes these people seek to, I guess I can't say hurt you, but all they want is recognition for themselves from trying to be helpful to you. And oftentimes that's what people do. So here's what I'm going to say. I don't like correction. I want to be honest and say I don't like correction. And there's types of correction I like. There's types I don't like. Okay. So when I'm at my job and my boss is showing me how to cook a dish, it's a really nice dish, I'm learning how to be a cook. He's showing me this. That's the correct type of correction. Okay. If we're in a rush, we've got 6 tickets up on the board. I'm cooking right now. He's cooking, I'm cooking together, and I mess up on a plate. Do you think just because I don't like correction, he shouldn't correct me on that? Of course not. If I'm doing something wrong, if I made the plate wrong, okay, they said no lettuce on the plate, on the ticket right there. And I put lettuce on the plate on accident, not looking at it. And Leo's like, oh yeah, but he doesn't like correction. That would be ridiculous to not correct me at that moment because the food's going to go out with lettuce on it. If he sees that and knows that, why would he try not to correct it? Okay? And so here's what I'm saying, is if we go this far and we say, I don't like correction, I hate correction, all correction, that's going to really, really hurt us in the end. You want correction, but you have to judge between two types of correction. The correction that people seek to gain recognition from, and the correction that people give you in order to help you learn something, right? And now, at your job, I would say probably 75% of the time, people are trying to give you correction that you can use to learn something. Don't use that correction to hate other people. This person corrected me. I hate this person. This is so bothering me. You want to use every moment you can. Okay, I can say for sure at work, there's been times I've been corrected that I wasn't super happy about it. Like, why did he use that tone? Why did he say that to me? But ultimately you have to stop and think before going to him and saying, hey, I'm mad at you for this. You have to think about it in your mind. Okay, was this correction good? Did I learn something from it? When I make a mistake as a cook, so at work, I'm a cook as well as a dishwasher. I kind of do everything, right? As a cook, if I decided I didn't want to learn anything, when people corrected me, I would just put it off in the back of my head and just go on. I will never see it again. If I decided to do that, I would become, probably the worst cook. Because cooks always learn from their mistakes, right? And that's how you learn, is from making a mistake. If I never made a mistake while I was learning, that's great, okay? If I started out cooking and never made a mistake, that's great. I never made a mistake, everything is good. But the thing is, that'll never happen. Everybody's going to make mistakes, especially when your first job. Now, when I first started my job, it took me over a year to even memorize the whole menu. And the reason being is because I wanted to memorize it right. I didn't want to just kind of look at all the food and say, okay, this is the right food. Okay, fine. I wanted to make sure I had it all down. And so when my boss comes to me and says, hey, what's in this? And actually, he's done that before, okay? He just kind of done a pop quiz on me before. He said, hey, what's in this dish? I think I told him one time and said, hey, hey, boss, I think I'm ready to cook, whatever. I kind of know the whole menu. He said, yeah? You think you know the whole menu? What's in this dish? I told him exactly what was in the dish. To the details, this is what's in the dish. These type of vegetables, this one, you not marinate. Saute this one, everything, this one, right? I told him the whole recipe. And he was like, okay, sure, I believe you. So there was no reason to not believe me at that point, right? I had given him a reason to believe me. Now, when he corrects me, I'm not so... Okay, mind you, my boss has been in the business for 23 years. If my boss corrects me on something, he's been in the business for 23 years. I've been in the business for 1 year. He knows better than me. I guarantee you. Your boss is going to know better than you. I'm just saying. So yeah. No, I think that's really important though, because we have to start thinking more about other people than just ourselves. Oftentimes we get caught in the moment and we think about ourselves. How does this correction feel to me? I don't like being corrected by that person. I really didn't like that. I'm kind of frustrated about that. Other than thinking about how is this going to help me? And even when somebody comes to you and corrects you, And even if that correction is meant to kind of make them look bigger than you can still learn. Don't get me wrong. Okay? It can still be true advice. Now, it may not be nice, it may not be kind of that other person to try to give you correction that will end up kind of leading to them looking better. But I think oftentimes people do that. For people, it's kind of a game of, it's kind of a leaderboard, right? For every person in the world, you want to be high on the leaderboard. What is the best way to be high on the leaderboard? Okay, I'm going to give you a few examples of that. Number one is be really trusted by everybody. If you're trusted by everybody in the whole city, everything, if you're trusted by everybody, that will be one thing that will land you top of the leaderboard. Now, how do you gain trust? Funny enough, oftentimes people see you, they trust you because of your money. No, it sounds crazy, but they do. Okay? If you're a millionaire, people are way more likely to trust you. Well, actually, wait a minute. Hang on. Let me think about this for a second. I don't know if I agree with that. Let me just think about that, because I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's actually true. Now that I'm saying that, I'm trying to think about this because I'm not positively sure. Let me kind of rephrase this. Let me just think on that for a minute. I'll talk about that later. Let me just get back to that because I'm not sure if I believe in that actually. Then see, here we go. This is great that I'm talking about correction because I can realize when I am streaming right here. In the stream, when I say something, I can go back and realize here's when I need to correct it. I said something I may not agree with, and I'm going to say that publicly. Hey, I don't actually agree with that. What I just said is kind of a lie because I don't actually agree with that. Let me think about that further, right? This is when correction means most, is when you can turn correction around and use it for good. Now, oftentimes, I don't like correction, okay? Especially when my parents correct me over something that I think I'm right on, causes arguments, this one. But oftentimes, I've seen when, yes, people are here. People are hopping on and off. Anyways, thanks. He said W inspiration. Thanks, bro. Yeah, so oftentimes I don't like that correction, but it turns out that in a few months after I've gone through this thing, they'll tell me, hey, here's probably what's going to happen. Be ready for it. For instance, I was hanging out with somebody, an adult, and they were trying to help me build an RC track in the county. And my dad told me that this person may not be trustworthy, This person oftentimes tries to back out. They're a dreamer. They dream up of big ideas, and they have big ideas in their head, and then all of a sudden they leave you to do it all on your own. And so this is something that I was, I kind of argued a little bit with him. No, I don't think that's going to happen, but we'll see. I'll be ready for it. And he did. He did, in fact, walk away from the whole thing. And it's things like that they'll tell me, hey, this might happen. And something like that happens, a couple months later. But it does happen. Okay, what did you say? Can you name a car for an edit? How about Mercedes? How's that for you? Mercedes. BMW. I don't know. I don't know what you wanted, but is that good? Is that what you wanted? Okay, that's fine. I don't care. But yeah, no. Correction is great because when you can learn how to be corrected properly and turn that correction into, yeah, but it depends which one. When you can learn correction and figure out how to turn correction into learning something, if you can be corrected and learn something at the exact same time, please, do the best you possibly can. Oh, you do in fact have the crown. Yo, we've got a comment battle going on over here, guys. Well, congratulations for having the crown. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, no. Correction is a really key piece in our life. And I would say over correction, the most key piece is learning in our lives. That's the key piece, Correction is good. But if you can't learn from correction, then what is correction? If people can correct you, but you don't actually learn from it, why are you trying to focus on correction? You know what I mean? you have to be on both sides. You have to be focusing on correction, but you have to be focusing on healing. And you have to be focusing on using correction to heal. You know what I mean? If we never use correction to heal, if we saw correction, here's correction, I know what correction is, but I'm not going to use it to heal myself, I'm not going to use it to actually build pieces back into my life. What do you say? Oh, cool. Okay. Make sure to tag me or something. Comment on my video and let me know when the edit's there. I'll go and check it out or something. Yeah, just let me know. Okay, cool. And yeah, it'll show up in my notifications that you mentioned to me. So, all right, cool. Sounds good. Thanks, bro. That should be pretty cool. But yeah, no, correction is great, and I think it's a key piece. Also, I also want to talk about a little bit of, now that we've got past all the boring stuff, all the correction, all this and that. I want to show you guys actually something I've been working on for a few seconds, but I'm gonna kind of turn this into part of the lesson, if you know what I mean. You'll see. Okay, I'm gonna grab this vehicle right here. Right now, I'm gonna show it off for a minute. You're gonna sub? Thanks so much. I would really appreciate that. All right, this is I'm not sure if any of you guys recognize this vehicle. Now, you probably will just because of the body. This is my Traxxas 4MT High Trail Edition. So this one is a 1/18 scale. It's starting to look more like a 1/10 scale. I have 10,000 notifications. For what? What did you do? What did you do? Did you notify me 10,000 times? What did you do? Anyways, so this is my Traxxas 4M High Trail Edition. Now, I have done a lot of modifications to this. Let me just try to show you guys if I can. Hello. How am I feeling today, man? I'm feeling great. As long as I'm here live streaming, I'm feeling pretty good. Alright, so, first of all the modifications, I have got new shocks. These are 59mm shocks. They're very nice shocks. For some of you guys don't know what mm means, which is millimeter. I'm sure most of you know what that means. And then we've got the high clearance links down below here for extra clearance on the ground and everything, as well as the full brass portal axles in both front and back. Now, if I'm building this car, I said I was going to turn it back into a lesson, so give me a second. If I was going to build this car from scratch, okay, and I made a mistake, I ended up doing some wiring wrong, I ended up kind of messing up the drive shaft or something, I can look at that car and say, okay, I've made a mistake, I don't know how to fix it, let me go send it to somebody else can fix it. Or, I can look at this car and say, alright, I'm going to learn how to fix it by myself. I'm going to figure this out, I know I can do it, I'm going to focus on this. Now, this isn't correction, because correction always involves another person, okay? You can have correction in your life, but correction always involves another person, right? Now, there's a difference between correction and, what's the other word that I'm looking for? Correction and, I'm looking for another word that involves literally just you. Kind of like, oh, thanks. I really appreciate you subbing. That would be great. Correction and another word I'm looking for that involves literally just you, something that you want to change in your life. Let me think. What is it called? Anyway, it's kind of like healing, right? When you know something's wrong and you want to fix it. Correction, something like that. So correction is for other people. It always involves a second person in your life. Now, there's one part that always involves just you in your life. And this part is solely to when you notice something's wrong, conviction. There it is, conviction. Okay? Oftentimes that's within, you realize I'm doing something wrong, I need to change this. Conviction is for you, something you need to change, and it only involves you most of the time, you and God. If God's convicting you on something. Now, we also have somebody who's talking about correction. Correction involves a friend, a parent, someone who loves you, someone who cares for you. This person wants to either help you or be bigger than you. They're going to either correct you to be bigger than you, or they're going to correct you to heal you. Okay? There's a few different ways you can go about this. Now, if I want to look at this car and say, all right, now I look at it, I know what it is. I've seen this car. This car looks good. It looks good from the outside. The outside looks amazing. Beautiful car, lots of details. Okay, I put a lot of work into this. Okay. Well, I don't know how to fix it now. It's broken. I can't fix it. Now, if someone comes to me and says, hey, you need to fix this, I know how to fix it. Why did you do this wrong? I'm most likely going to be, a little bit defensive at first. I feel like it is that way, right? When you have a little bit of correction, when you feel corrected, oftentimes we want to kind of defend ourselves. You have 1 billion notifications. All right, thanks. I know. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And so we always kind of fire back with defense. I do, at least. I'm not sure about everybody else, but I definitely do. When you're being corrected, you always want to fire back with defense first. And here's why I would say, yeah, it's true. There's 2 people here. And here's why I would say it's so important to actually walk away for a few seconds, because in the moment when you're being corrected, there's a lot of times you kind of feel a little bit, I don't know, you feel like you need to defend yourself, right? And so when someone's trying to make a point, someone's trying to heal you, someone's trying to help you, someone's trying to, hey, this is what you need to fix, I really care about you, I love you, and then you are trying to, I guess, defend yourself from that. It's kind of like saying no to correction. Here's correction. Someone's trying to help you. It's saying no to help, right? You're dying and someone's over here and say, hey, let me help you. And you're like, no, I don't want help. My life's a mess. My life's a wreck. I need help, but I don't want help. Because now you're trying to make it sound like I need it. Even though I know I need it, I don't like hearing that. I don't like hearing that I need help. Right? And so you immediately fire back with defense. No, I don't need help. Or no, stop talking to me about this. Stop. I don't need this. Go away. When most of the time, you're not realizing it from another perspective. So when you walk away for 15 minutes and then come back to it, you realize, okay, like I walked away for 15 minutes, I've come back, and I've started to realize that, okay, wow, we got a lot of people spamming comments in here. This is crazy, guys. I thought there's just 1 person. We got 2 people spamming comments. Right. I'm really glad you guys found the emojis. That is great. That is awesome. No, keep it up. Yeah. No, I walking away for 15 minutes can be the most healing thing you can do. It is for me. Because for part of my personality is honestly just, it's really easy for me to walk away and then come back fast and apologize fast. That's one of the things for me. Yo, what is going on in this chat, guys? I've never seen a chat this crazy. This is insane. Do we have a fight for the number 1 crown in comments? This is insane, guys. It's just hard to focus on what I'm trying to talk about because there's a lot of people spamming comments in here. Spamming a bunch of emojis and stuff. Yo, what? Okay. Anyways, yeah, the point is correction heals and correction breaks down. Now, sometimes it's meant to heal, sometimes it's meant to break down. You do, in fact, have the number 1 crown. That is for sure. I'm sure you'll have the number 1 crown for a while. Unless this other guy who's commenting is going to beat you to it. Yo, I'm going to go back and watch the stream and be like, wow, I can see the point when everybody started spamming emojis. I don't care. As long as you guys are here, I'm okay. As long as you guys spam emojis, I don't care what you do. I do care what you do. Just don't do anything wrong. Emojis are fine. But yeah, again, correction is often felt as when you first hear correction, when you first feel correction, when someone corrects you at first, you fire back with defense, defending yourself because you don't feel that it's that's trying to help you. When that's the first thing it's trying to do is help you. I don't wonder if there's even a moment in this live stream that what? Why? What do you mean why? I don't even know anymore. And so no, correction is good. But yeah, this is my I'm gonna end the conversation on correction because I feel like I've come to a dead end for a little while. But so yeah, as I was kind of showing you guys, this guy is my Traxxas 4M. It's got pretty good suspension. Now, so far, I need to get the suspension oiled a little bit. And what else do I need to do to this? I'm going to add some brass wheel weights as well. To just kind of make it better for crawling. I kind of took it out. I added some new tires the other day. If I can find the new tires, I can find the new tires. Let me show you guys the new tires I got for it, which I actually thought were going to be really good. I thought they had really good tread, but they really didn't. Let me show you guys the tires. Now, these are the tires that I got. These are really nice, actually, because these are, they've got little foam inserts. I don't like foam inserts, but it's nice that it came with them. Foam is just too easy to rip and destroy, but I think that's fine, ultimately, I guess. But I put these on it, and these tires are supposed to be 70mm tires. These ended up being, like, less than 68mm tires. I'm not sure what happened there. But, like, look at the tires on this, first of all. Okay, try to compare this. I can't hold it up to you guys so you can compare it. But let me give you guys that. And then we got this tire, which is so much smaller than the other. So, I really thought it was going to be good. But since these tires are so much bigger, I'm just going to use the stock tires. The issue with these is the tread. The tread is really not good on these tires, unfortunately. So yeah, that's not great, but I have been doing a lot of upgrades to this. So, soon, yeah, I'm not going to tell you guys how old I am. Just, I don't know, for safety reasons, I guess, but I'm not going to say my age or anything. But, yeah, so this thing is really nice. This is stock tires, to be honest. It also came with 8 stock shocks. Came with 8 shocks that were like 8 of them. Okay. Yeah, 8 shocks. And so I removed 4 of these shocks, 2 on the front, 2 in the back, because they were just crazy. It did not need 8 shocks. It only needed 4. And so yeah, that was one of the upgrades I made to it. But I also added new aluminum shocks here and aluminum mounts down at the bottom. So yeah, anyways, that's really good. That's really nice. And then I'm going to be getting a new body for it. I'm going to actually be getting some wheel spacers as well, kind of bring the wheels out. I think it adds an extra 6mm to each side, each tire. So that'll be really good. And then I'm going to end up adding more height with 78mm shocks. I think 78mm shocks is like the highest you can go, really, on one of these 1/18 scale Traxxas vehicles. So I'm going to try those, and then I'm going to put my 59mm shocks over on my Bronco. So I've got this one. I can show you guys the Bronco if you would like. So yeah, this one's really nice. The only thing I really don't like about it is the body, so I'm going to remove the body off of it. I'm going to add a more rock crawler style body. I've already got it coming. It'll be a while till it gets here, but it should be pretty cool to add that one afterwards. It'll kind of give it more clearance a little bit. Because the body is so, I don't know, rectangle and kind of heavy, when they get the new one, it'll be a whole lot easier to install. I'll probably end the live stream here in, I don't know what, probably less than 6 minutes or so. Yeah, let me grab the other one for you guys so you guys can look at this one. Because I've done a little bit of modding to this one. I've done most of my modding to the F-150. Now, this one is my Bronco. Now, this is not stock. These tires and wheels are definitely not stock. And then also we've got the lift kit down below here, which I added also. Yeah, why are you asking? You don't like the live stream? What's going on? That's what I'm wondering. But yeah, so no, this is great. I bought these new wheels and tires, and these actually came with inserts as well. I don't think these are foam inserts. And then the wheels for this thing are really nice as well. I actually had to do some trimming to all the edges here because the tires would rub on all the fenders. And so I had to take that off. And also had to cut off some pieces here of the bumper because they were a little bit too long and they were scraping. Yeah, so that's kind of, so far that's what I'm working on. For this one, I'm going to do a lot of upgrades to it. So the shocks you currently see on the F-150 here, these red ones are actually going to be mounted onto my Bronco. I'm going to take those ones off and mount it to my Bronco here because I feel like this could really use some shocks. You could use some extra height. So yeah, I'm going to use both of these. I wish I had like a shelf or something that I could set these on while I'm kind of explaining because I can only hold them one at a time. So I'm going to take the shocks off the F-150 and put them on the Bronco, and then I'm going to put 78 shocks on the Ford F-150, the ones I took off of here. And so it should be really, really cool. I'm excited for it. And I'm also probably going to eventually put some brass portal axles on the front and back. Replace those. Maybe I'll replace the height clearance links for it. Give it a little bit more height. And then other than that, I think that's really it that I'm looking for. Now, here's something you can do with your vehicles is you can actually take the springs off the shocks for your F-150. You can just that's what I've done. I've taken the springs off the shocks because I actually kind of want it to be low to the ground like this. I want it to be really, really low to the ground. And the higher it is, the harder it is to actually crawl. And so this one would not be my crawling vehicle here because I feel like this one's going to be really easy to fall over. It doesn't have a lot of width. It has a lot of length, but not a lot of width. And so I would increase the width on it for sure. And then also add extra height, and probably the tires I think are fine for this one. It's not going to be anything crazy, but it does look really sweet like this. A little bit taller as well as the nice wheels and tires for it. So that being said, I think I might end the stream at 35 minutes. So we'll go for another, 3 more minutes or so. But I appreciate you guys staying on the stream the whole time. I really appreciate it. Because you've been here from the start, right? Let me go back and read the comments. Were you? Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. You were like the 5th comment. So yeah, you've been here for a long time then. You've been here for almost the whole stream then. Oh, cool. Thanks for hopping on. You've been here for a while. And for me, I'm honestly trying to think about, in my live streams, I really like to bring something into them that actually gives value. Instead of sitting here, I can talk about my RC cars all day if I had to. There's a lot I'm learning from these. There's a lot I'm learning, all about suspension, taking the springs off the shocks. I could sit here and talk about it all day. But I don't, because I actually want to bring some value into the world, Instead of just trying to entertain people for 30 minutes, 35 minutes, for me, it's more important to actually sit here and actually teach something that brings value. And so I kind of feel it's kind of a waste of time and it's kind of useless to actually only entertain people. Now, don't get me wrong. I think entertaining people is fine for your content. I do a little bit of half and half, okay? So for my shorts, I am an RC creator. So I do half RC shorts, RC videos and stuff like that. And then when it comes to live streams, I actually try to bring value into them. Because if I never brought value into them, for me, it's like, what's the point of live streaming if I can't bring any value into someone's life? If I'm just wasting my life, okay, thanks for, yeah. If I'm just wasting my time, instead of actually trying to help somebody or be helpful, help them fix something in their lives, and I'm just kind of wasting my time, just trying to entertain you guys the whole stream. But anyways, that being said, I really appreciate you guys for hopping on here. I'm going to end here in like 30 seconds. Because 35 minutes is pretty good for my live stream. So, what do you mean you're not? So So yeah, thank you guys for all hopping on here. Also, my next upcoming goal is 300 subscribers. So let's see if we can get close to 300. We're getting there. So I want to thank you guys all, and I will see you guys all in the next live stream tomorrow. See you later. Bye-bye. Now I gotta wait for